Good morning, dear children. Today we begin with session 4 of chapter Principles of Management. And just for revision, we began with Henry Fayol's principles yesterday. He gave us the general principles and he gave us 14 principles of management. We just covered 3 of them yesterday. The first one was division of work. Second was authority and responsibility. And third was discipline. So today we begin with the fourth general principle of management given by Henry Fayol. So children, the fourth principle of management is unity of command. Unity means one, unit means one, command means orders, giving instructions. So according to this principle, an employee should receive orders from one boss only. And the subordinate should also be accountable to one boss only. What happens if more than one boss give him an order? He becomes confused. If a subordinate has received orders from more than one boss, it creates confusion. Right? It confuses a subordinate. Let us understand it through an example. Let us consider, say for example, there's an employee of a production department, right? And he has been instructed by the manager of production department to go slow with the production, just to ensure that the productivity is also not hampered. Moreover, the quality of production is also ensured. But at the same time, the sales manager, in order to meet his target. So what is the target of the sales manager? To increase more and more sales of the organization. So the sales target instructed him to increase the production so that he can meet his targets. Now understand the situation of that subordinate. Understand the situation of that employee. Whom will he listen to? Will he listen to the production manager who told him to go slow with the production just to ensure or to maintain the quality standard? Or will he listen to the sales in charge who wanted him to increase the sales so that he could meet his target? So I hope you can understand the confusion of the employee. Hence, according to the principle of unity of command, an employee should receive orders from one boss only. And children, from your exam point of view, not only that you need to understand every principle, but at the same time, you must have positive and negative effects of the principles. Positive effects, as in if this principle is followed in an organization, what are the positive results you can see? Second, if this principle is violated, for example, if unity of command is not followed in an organization, what will be the violating effects? So violating effects could be confusion in the minds of employees. There could be ego clashes among different superiors, then difficulty in maintaining discipline in the organization. So you must know positive and negative effects of each principle of management, which are not given separately in NCERT, and for that the notes will be shared with you later. Another principle of management is unity of direction. Again, here unity means one, but here direction doesn't refers to giving instructions or directing people. That is already covered by unity of command, giving orders. Unity of direction means one unit, one plan, which means according to this principle, the efforts, whatever the activities of the employees, whatever is being done in the organization by the employees, I repeat once again, the efforts of all the members, all the employees of an organization must be directed towards one direction, that is the achievement of common goal. And if everybody's activities is directed towards achievement of one common goal, that would automatically create base for the coordination concept, which we've already studied in the first chapter. And we considered coordination as a sixth function of management, if you all remember. So unity of direction is unification of efforts towards one goal. Every employee, every subordinate, every member of each department should be directed towards one direction, and that direction is achievement of the common goal of an organization. And what if this unity of direction is not followed in an organization? What will be the violating effects? It would definitely lead to non-achievement of organizational goals. Moreover, wastage of efforts and resources, because everybody would be working in a different direction. So if everybody works in one direction, of course you can save time, you can save efforts of the individuals. Whereas when you see everybody walking into different directions, it's definite that the resources of an organization will be wasted. So, children, the sixth principle of management is subordination of individual interest to general interest. Now, according to this principle, the interest of organization must supersede the interest of individuals, which means that organization's interest is more important than the personal interest of employees. In the organization, children, all the employees, they work with some or the other objective, right? But at the same time, the organization also has its own objective. So if both the employees' objective and the organization's objective, if they walk in same direction, then it's okay. But if the objectives of the individuals are different than the objectives of the organization, then the role of the management comes here. Then the manager must try to reconcile individual interest with organizational goal. But if it is not possible, then individual goal must be sacrificed for achieving organizational goal. Yes, because organization's goal is more important than individual's interest. This should be understood by this principle. Sacrificing your own personal interest, sacrificing employees' personal interest for the goal of the organization. Now, say for example, children, the employees must sacrifice their leaves or attending any other family function if the organization needs the presence. So here, an employee is sacrificing his own personal interest if he has to attend a family function. But at the same time, if the management requires his presence, he has to sacrifice. All right. So I hope you've understood subordination of individual interest, which means organization's interest is important over and above one's own personal interest. The next principle of management is remuneration of employees. Remuneration refers to compensation. Remuneration refers to payment to the employees. So according to this principle, employees in the organization must be paid fairly or adequately to give the maximum satisfaction. This means that the salary, the pay packages, the wages of the employees should be adequate, should be fair according to the work they do, because this only gives the maximum satisfaction. Then the wages, the salaries should be adequate enough, which gives them a reasonable standard of living. Right? But at the same time, children, it must be ensured, it must be kept in mind by the firms also, that the salary should also be given according to the pay capacity of the concern, according to the pay capacity of an organization. And I remember one case study for 1 mark again in your board paper, wherein you were asked to identify the principle of management. And it was related to this point only, that no employee in an organization works for happiness. Yes, every employee, every individual in an organization, if they're working, they expect a compensation, they expect a remuneration which is fair, which is adequate according to the work they do. So nobody in an organization works for happiness. But what if this principle, remuneration of employees, is not followed in an organization? This would result in increased turnover of employees. Turnover means employees coming and going in an organization, and this coming and going would increase because they're not paid fairly. Dissatisfaction and demotivation of employees would start increasing because again they're not paid according to their expectation. And salary is something, pay packages is something which gives employees the maximum satisfaction. And if this remuneration is distributed fairly, is given fairly, the employees are always motivated, and devotion and commitment of employees improves towards the organization. So We did 4 principles of management today, children. Unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest to general interest, and the 7th one was remuneration of employees.